Going on, guys? It's the Chronicles of Podcast. We're back once again for another week to tickle your old taste buds. I don't know why we're tickling them, because that'd be quite weird putting our hands in your tongues. In your tongues? On your tongues is what I meant to say. In your mouth, yeah, it's kind of odd. But that's where the 83rd edition is. And Jamie, I do believe that these are the chronicles right here on your tongue of Braden Barrie.
Braden Barrie 2, baby.
Yeah. Braden Barrie Part 2. I believe we should definitely get this show on the road.
Hey, honey bunny, it's Rivka Reyes.
This is Ron Wasserman, the nut that wrote Go-Go Power Rangers.
It's Boba Fett here.
This is Molly Rennick from Living Dead Girl.
It's WWE superstar, legend, Davey Boy Smith's daughter, Georgia Smith.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly, and you are listening to the Chronicles of Podcast with Jamie and Tom.
You do realize what this is, don't you? You're like, actually, you're a moron.
Boys and girls, these are the Chronicles of Braden Barrie.
Jamie, I do believe that we should bring in that piece of resistance.
Oh, we definitely should bring in that piece of resistance.
Welcome to the Chronicles of Braden Barrie 2.
Yeah, the boy is back for his fourth time coming on the show. It is absolutely incredible. Braden is back to talk all about his brand new album, Beneath the Roses. We've been singing its praises for weeks on this show, and now you get to hear all about it, all about what Braden's been up to since we last spoke to him. And it's just a good old time chatting to Braden because we love this man very, very much.
He gives you an update on Stay Cozy, his brand new TV series Farlight that he's currently writing right now. And of course, like Jamie said, just that fucking wonderful album that needs playing over and over again. Definitely his best work. But let's cut to the chase, shall we? Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Any final words at all?
Just a massive thank you to you, Braden Barrie. You wonderful man. You just means the world you coming on and spending time with us.
Yeah, thank you, Braden. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on once again. Always enjoy talking to you. Pretty much, guys, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Braden Barrie. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you a guest who's returning to us for the fourth time. He's a musician, filmmaker, actor, clothing designer, podcast, a Canadian, a dab hand at Rocket League, and an all-round wonderful human being. He and former guest Caslow have just released my 2023 Single of the Year with Your Boyfriend's Car. Here to talk all about his brand new album, Beneath the Roses, and much, much more. It's Mr. Stay Cozy Clothing. It's Mr. Say We Can Fly. Boys and girls, these are the Chronicles of Braden Barrie.
Thank you, Jamie. That was absolutely wonderful. Mr. Stay Cozy Clothing. I love that. I just have to change my name legally to that. That's great.
Yes.
It's making with the tagline or something now, just like the motto, whatever, of the brand.
I was just listing the things you do, and I was just like, I'm going to keep going. Fuck it. I'm just going to put more in.
Very flattering. Thank you.
It's like he was announcing you to the ring or something. For some big fight. Anyway, let's crack on. So, obviously, we last spoke to you on your own back in October 2020. So I suppose that was in the midst and the heights of the pandemic. So how have the last few years been for you, like seeing all that out and whatnot?
Yeah, it's been good, man. I mean, I guess that was the last time we talked like solo. I don't know. I think, my perspective on life has changed a lot, like through that whole time, as I'm sure it has for all of us, in a lot of good ways. And some things, I'm still trying to figure out, but overall it's been, pretty happy with where I'm at, and still continue to, try to create music and other stuff. And yeah, I mean, things are pretty good, man. I can't complain.
Good.
I love it. But Braden, before we get started, I got a bit of a bone to pick with you. So I thought we were friends here, but you were last on the show to talk all about Dake and Tyke. You and Micah came on talking about Dake and Tyke. We released that episode, and then 5 days after the episode came out, the Dake and Tyke album dropped, and you didn't mention it once. Where was our exclusive scoop?
Did I not?
No.
Weird. Okay, here's what might happen. Spotify took it off at one point and then re-uploaded it. So it might have been like re-uploaded after we talked, I think. If I'm not mistaken, because they took down everything that was like live comedy, and it got mistakenly like tagged as like a live stand-up comedy. So they took it down, and I had to fight over email to get it back up, but we did. So that might have been what happened. Yeah. So
Spotify. So these big businesses that like throw a dick around, like, you know, they're gonna fucking think so. You do realize what this is, don't you? You're like, actually, you're a moron. It's actually just funny songs that I wrote, and we just
that kind of stuff happens a lot, man. Like just all that weird kind of copyright and random stuff like that. So, but we got it sorted out, and then the new single "Hum in the Hoist" came out soon after that. So, yep.
Just say the name makes me chuckle.
What a tune! What an absolute banger that is.
Pretty good.
But while we're talking about Dake and Tyke, what's happening in the world of the Gentleman Stoners? Is there any plans with it?
Yeah, Tyke is over in the Middle East right now. He became like a really famous like Bollywood actor, and Dake, I don't know. He got trapped on like some like lighthouse or something. So I don't know. We're trying to get a hold of them, but it's been tough, man. The network, Bob Starr has been really like financially struggling a lot. So, I mean, they're working on it, So, yeah, eventually they'll pop back up, as far as I know. So.
I really want to see Tyke in Bollywood now. I really want to see that.
He's in like a new series called Attaboy Raj. It's like a 7-film series, and he's killing it. So, yeah, it's awesome. Man, yeah. So
that's gonna get written in. Yeah, right, that just has to get written in now. So obviously Jamie mentioned it at the beginning before all the hilarity ensued. The brand new album Beneath the Roses is out now. Absolutely unbelievable. Probably one of some of the best work that you've ever done, in my opinion. Has it been well received?
Yeah, and it has. Like, in all seriousness, yeah. I mean, it seems like the response has been good. I'm not like, I don't comb through comments all the time. But yeah, it seems like people are liking it, and I, just kind of connecting with it, which is obviously the goal. And the streams have been good. So I'm very happy with the response for sure.
What do you think is about this record that's really resonated with people? Because like, so many people have read like comments like, "This is the best stuff. It's so good."
I don't know. I think I really tried to like tap into the same kind of space as when I released Between the Roses, which was the first album I did. I tried to really kind of go back into that space, so maybe that's it, and just kind of re-explore that world. So I don't know. I think it was maybe just the space I was in when I wrote it and recorded it, and yeah, I don't know.
Do you have any particular favorite tracks on there?
Yeah, Without You, I think is my favorite. After a couple of years of listening, that's still my favorite, I think. And Part of Me, I don't know. Hell Is, I like a lot of them. I try to enjoy all of them, but yeah, Without You is favorite. So
I definitely think that's probably, again, in my opinion, the greatest song you've ever done. You can really hear and feel the emotion and just the rawness of it all, especially when you get towards the end and they're absolutely belting it out as well. It's just it's so captivating every single time. Like, it just gets, every time I hear it and that build-up's coming, you're like, oh my God, this is going to destroy me again.
Thank you. Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I definitely went on like a journey really when I was recording that, and yeah, it was very just healing, and I don't know, it's hard for me to explain that stuff, but yeah, I agree. I mean, I really put a lot of my heart into that one for sure.
It's Long Way Down for me. I absolutely love that song, and the way it blends in as well to the next. It's great. It's so damn good.
Yeah, I like that one too. I just really like. There's this one song called Agape by Bears Den, which I absolutely just love it. I just wanted to do a song that was kind of like folky, kind of groovy, like, stuff. So I'm really happy with how that turned out.
So I know you went into an actual studio to mix this instead of doing it at your home studio. What was there a particular reason you did that in this time round?
I think just because like a lot of times like I do, I'll record and mix my own stuff, like, but I've just felt this album really needed that. Like I needed to just be able to really focus on like the more like emotional creative side of it and have someone else kind of doing like the technical side. And I worked with my friend Matt Malpass, who's just an incredible like engineer and mixer. I just felt like I needed to like give myself like a hard 2-week like deadline. Like you only have 2 weeks to do this. You got to do it. So, and I like to go to the studio, so, when it makes sense and when I can, because it's just a whole other kind of level and whole other vibe. So I just felt like the album needed that, and it really definitely worked out. So.
Do you think having that deadline, really helped with the quality of because you knew you were set to a certain time, so like I need to get this done? Because I suppose in another way, having a deadline like that can make you go, oh fuck, shit, do I like that bit, or is that I don't know about that bit, but I'm not sure about this.
Yeah. No, I think like I always work better with deadlines, and like for the most part, a lot of, especially my earlier records, like I always had that. And it just helps you kind of really just more be in the moment and be like focused and like, this is what we're doing. And yeah, you just don't have time to think as much. So I think in a lot of ways it is like really beneficial for a lot of projects. So
yeah, I suppose yes as well. Oh, sorry, Karen.
No, you're good. It's because obviously my other half, Keris, her favorite song is "Make You Mine," which I believe you wrote in the studio. It was just a random moment of going, do you know what? Let's just write another song. Fuck it. If it fits, put it in.
Yeah, exactly, man. I just like for some reason like that I need one more song on the album. And like some songs, like even October, I finished writing while I was at the studio, and like I'll like write a bridge for a song like when I'm at a studio, and I like to do that because it's just like very authentic and like genuine, and I don't know. But yeah, Make You Mine, I just picked up the banjo and I was like, sat in the vocal booth and then just wrote it and tracked it. So
yeah, it's great. It essentially makes me want to dance to like poppy fields and like daisy fields and stuff, with the sun shining, rainbows everywhere, leprechauns jumping up and down, unicorns flying, that sort of thing. She always, every time I play it, she's literally coming in like skipping away like into the living room, just like loving life.
It's amazing. I love that. Sorry, my contact lens is just destroying me, so I'm trying to power through it.
You okay?
Yeah, if I'm like squinting and stuff, that's why. So
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. It's really nice.
I think Tom just inadvertently designed the music video for that song.
Yeah.
But saying that is true talent right there, to just be able to go into a booth and go, fuck it, to try a song. Like, was the, because I couldn't do that. I just stumble over every single word that came out of my mouth and I'd be like, there once was a man who did a dance. I don't fucking know. But did you go into the studio going, I'm going to save this one song and then I'm just going to go and see what falls out of my face? Or did it just sort of happen?
You mean like the Make You Mine?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just kind of, I didn't really plan it. I never really plan. Well, sometimes I do, I guess. But yeah, that just kind of was just a random thing. I think Matt was maybe taking a pee break or something, and I was just in there by myself. So I was like, try to write something. Yeah.
Imagine you're just there strumming along, making this song. You're like, shit, he's having a piss right now. No one's recording this. I've just written gold. Yeah. I didn't write it down. It fell out my mouth. Shit.
Yeah, no, I always, if I catch something good, I always just do a voice memo on my phone. Even if it's like 20 minutes long of me writing the whole thing, I'll just make sure I get it. Because I do forget things very easily. So
that's just
have you had moments where you've been in like an uncertain situation, like the shower or asleep or random points?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get some random tune in your head or some lyrics come up and you go, oh my God, I need to write that down. I take it the phone obviously is your best friend. Have you ever had moments like that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't do it as much now because I just kind of, I'm like way more relaxed about that. I'm not always like, oh my God, like I need to remember this because I have so many like ideas all the time now. But yeah, it does happen. I think that happens more so now with like script writing or like story ideas and stuff like that. But yeah, I try to just like keep singing it or keep saying it until I'm fully clothed and I can record it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Say we can fly stripped bare.
Yeah. Interesting concept.
So, I know we've spoken to quite a few musicians in the past and saying like when they finish an album, they have to sit on it for bloody ages before it gets released. And by the time it gets out, they're like, "I'm so glad to finally get on it." Was this the case for you with the album? Was you sitting on it for quite some time?
I was, yeah. It was just a very kind of complicated like record label situation, and yeah. So I it was like about 2 years, maybe, I don't know, maybe more.
Ow.
Yeah, which was fine, I guess. It was a bit frustrating because I just wanted to wait till it was out until I started writing new stuff because I've just always had this big backlog of songs. So it's like by the time, and I've said this before, but it's like by the time a song comes out or album comes out, I'm just not even like connected to it anymore. So it's kind of hard to want to like promote it or focus on it. So yeah, it's kind of tough to consciously like really slow down my writing and stuff until it was out, but I'm glad I did. So
it is though, obviously you've got a massive backlog and whatnot, and it means that when the album is obviously it's now out, you've got so many songs that you've already done that are already made and ready. It's almost like you could take a back seat and be like, well, this is great because I can just have that come out then, have that come out then. I'll just chill for a couple of months.
I get, yeah, but weirdly that doesn't, it kind of makes it tough for me because I feel like I need to be doing something or I want to be like doing something. So, but yeah, thankfully now it's mostly just like EDM collabs that I have coming out, and then another Say We Can Fly track I finished, but I'm kind of almost where I want to be with everything. So, because I do want to start doing like, a song a month, just like whatever I'm feeling or writing, just write it, release it, and do that kind of thing. So that'll be nice, I think.
So I heard somewhere that you wanted to make this album like a trilogy, like Between the Roses and this one. Where did that idea come from?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool. I've just always been a fan of trilogy like films, and just that whole like idea of 3 parts. I just feel like it works really well. And for me, I just feel like I have one more in there, as far as like this concept goes. So I'll probably do it at some point. Make it. It just kind of feels good.
I'm wondering what the title will be. We've got Between, Beneath, will be On Top of the Roses.
It'll be like Betwixt the Roses or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know yet. I actually don't know what it'll be called.
Well, please, God, that's a great word. That is absolutely a great word.
I don't even know what it means. I actually don't know.
Isn't it? It's between things, isn't it? I think it's between again.
Just call it that.
So you put the rose in there, it's called Betwixt.
That's funny, man. Yeah. I'll come up with something.
Because obviously, between the way I looked at it was like between is like life, living, enjoying through the roses, and obviously beneath is death. So I didn't know if it could be like afterlifey or another worldly. No, that's a sort of concept I took from the names.
That just made me realize that's kind of exactly what it is. I didn't really consciously think of it that way, but yeah, I think that is kind of what I was doing. And like this album, I just wanted to go a little. Explore like more of the darker parts or darker side for myself. I don't know if it makes sense to anyone else, but yeah. And then I just feel like somehow close it off with the third one. We'll see. But
I'm very much looking forward to that. How would you come up with the names for your songs?
It's usually for the most part it's just like whatever the song is, like that's what I'll call it. So it's like a lot of times like the chorus tagline or the whole point of the song is just what I'll name it. So I pretty much always will, I'll come up with that first, like that'll just kind of come to me first, like the point, and then I write everything around that. So
okay, so you haven't had like songs where you've gone, I'm gonna call it Church. No, I don't like that. No. Let's call it Jester. No, I don't like that either. You don't have moments like that? Not
really, no. I mean, maybe for some of like the EDM stuff or whatever. Yeah, no. It's always like just there. So
okay. I know somebody kept asking this on your social media, so I thought I would actually ask the question so that they can finally be answered for everyone to enjoy. How do you know what sort of order to place your tracks in? How do you know you want to put Knuckles at the start with then Bleeding Teeth, etc., and then put Hell Is towards the end?
It's honestly just like a feeling thing, man. It's just I don't know. It's really just like the story, I guess, progression. Like to me, it makes sense in some weird way. So that's it. It's just a feeling thing.
Oh,
basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I imagine I'm so indecisive on things. If I was a musician, it would take me ages to pick a track listing. I just double guess myself every single fucking time.
The tough part sometimes is just like the opening track, but I've always kind of been more focused on just like telling it as like a story. And it's obviously like it doesn't make like logical sense as a story, but it's just kind of the feeling of it. So yeah. Kind of how
I suppose that's something only you would really resonate and know, though, because obviously you're the one that wrote it and made it, etc. We're just coming on that journey with you. So
yeah, and a lot of times and even with this album, like I write the last track first. So I always kind of know where I'm ending.
Oh,
yeah. And it's not like I plan it that way. Just it always happens that way for some reason. So
that's a really cool way of doing it, though. I think.
Yeah, I just like to kind of know where I'm ending up. That helps me a lot. So because then it's like way less pressure. It's just like, you've already done the hardest part. So
you obviously dabbled a bit whilst obviously waiting for his record to be released in the whole EDM and emo rap world. Would you be going back down that road at all?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like EDM, like I've really started working with a lot of like producers, like EDM producers, and like I do top lines and vocals for them, which I enjoy more than making like my own type of EDM, like as far as what I've released before. But I am like working on like a really heavy EDM project, which I don't know what I'm gonna finish, but just kind of more like mid-tempo, like bass stuff. And then emo rap, I don't know, we'll see. I mean, anytime I've tried to do it, it's just always kind of felt like a bit forced, so I haven't really like done it. But anytime I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I'd really love to explore this more. So yeah, at some point I'm sure I'll make something, even if it's just like a single. So yeah.
So I love the fact that while you were waiting for this latest album to come out, you've been a busy boy constantly, releasing like Skeleton Heart EP with Sunday Friend, and all with like this new sound that we're just talking about is more electronic approach. I have now dubbed emo DM. I was quite proud of myself when I thought that earlier.
Nice. I like that.
I was quite proud of that. And but what made you want to branch out and try this style of new music in the in between time? Was it people? Because obviously it's different from what people generally associate you with.
I just kind of honestly, I think with that whole thing, I just like didn't really care. I was just like, I just want to make something that like I'm not too attached to and I can just do, and it's not super high pressure. I was just like, it's kind of an opportunity to try something new because I already have this album done. Like I know I'm bringing that back around. So I don't know. I just thought it'd be kind of cool. And like Sunday Friend is amazing producer, and it was just kind of fun. Like I just didn't care about it too much, if that makes sense. Where it was a bit easier just to like let it be whatever it was, try something new. So.
I like that. I was especially a fan of your cover of Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. You put an incredible spin on that absolute class. Where did that idea come from?
Yeah, I literally just was like, I mean, I just watched that season of Stranger Things and I just loved the whole kind of like vibe of tying that song in. So I just thought it'd be cool to try because I became a fan of it. So
it's great. It's so good.
Thank you.
So speaking of collaborations, obviously you've done a fair few recently, like we said, Sunday Friend, Caslow, we mentioned earlier, Trey Cyrus. As a musician, you've worked solo for the majority of your career. What made you want to work with other artists? And was that like hard or a weird transition for you to make to go, hold on, let's have someone else's opinion?
Yeah, it was something I always resisted a lot. And I think it was mostly because back when I was starting out, it was always like, oh, you're going to go co-write with this person, sit in a room with someone else and try to write a song. And I could never tap into that same kind of space for the most part doing that. So when I started to cut, it was started to be like, okay, I have a song that I've written, and then, I'll reach out to somebody to sing their verse on it. So it's like, I don't have to worry about, like, I'm already kind of saying what I want to say with it. And then, I don't know, I think Trace was like one of my first collabs, if I can remember correctly, like as far as that goes. And I just kind of started to really enjoy it and had more people reaching out to do EDM, and I just kind of started to look at it a different way, I guess. So I do enjoy it a lot now for sure. And it's cool because you get to like share your audiences too, So I think that's cool.
Didn't mean to cut you off there. I do apologize about that. Talking of the collaborations, the new Caslow track, Your Boyfriend's Car, that you've obviously written on it's unreal. It's literally incredible. It's almost like you were built for pop punk. It's got that pop punk EDM-y sort of style to it, and it just merges beautifully, by the way. From a personal standpoint, I think this is the road you need to go down, Braden. I think you need to start going down this road now because I can't listen to it. It's great.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I like how it turned out for sure. Yeah, thanks. I mean, I don't know. I don't really like write that stuff myself, so that's part of why I like doing collabs like that, because like that I just wouldn't go and like write like music like that, you know? So if that part's done, it's a lot easier for me to just like hop on board. Yeah. So
because when you said before then about being forced to co-write with somebody in the studio with that, I can't imagine that, and that must feel so forced. You know, obviously you're not going to be in that headspace of that or feeling it, because it's like, go in there, write a song now. You go, okay. Bricks. Actually, about bricks.
yeah, dude. Well, I think that's how a lot of artists do it, though. It's just like that's kind of the process. Like you go and you write with people, especially the bigger artists. A lot of times, like you're in a room with like sometimes like 10 people. You're writing a song, and then you record it, or sometimes someone else writes it and they just send it to you. I mean, there's obviously like songwriters that write a lot of the big songs and they send it to the artist, and it's just kind of a step-by-step process. Where for me, it's always just been like I just do it, you know. And because it's not about that, it's always just been about like expressing stuff. So unless I don't know, it's just I have to kind of work with like a very specific kind of person in order to do it. It's hard for me to work with like a songwriter that just like knows formulas and all that stuff, because that's not really like I like to have long songs, like to have like weird stuff. So if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I can imagine when you've got 10 fucking people in there trying to write a song, and you've written whatever, and they go, yeah, I don't like that. And then the person goes, yeah, actually, but I quite like this bit. Why don't you change that bit? And then someone else goes, yeah, what about this? Change that bit, put it back to that, and then put it this way instead.
For sure, man. And like that obviously works for a lot of cases, but just as far as for my music, I feel like it just totally takes the point away. So I don't really do it. So
I can't say I blame it, but especially with the type of music you write as well, it's so personal. You don't want other people's opinions and input on it, because that's you, that's your heart you're putting out there.
Exactly, man. Yeah. So I had to just kind of let myself be okay with not doing that, because I used to feel very like, if I was working with a producer or something, I would just feel kind of bad if I was like, no, I want to keep it this way, you know. And they're like, no, it should be this way, you know. So I just kind of was like, I just don't care. Like I don't want to put myself in those situations anymore. Like, because it's like if I'm not enjoying it, what's the point? Like, why would I even do it? You know. So.
Exactly. Can't argue that at all. So, another thing that you've done since our last chat, you got to go on tour with the wonderful Secondhand Serenade, and of course you released the album Secondhand Heartbreak, which is a fantastic live album. How was it playing live again?
It was good, man. It was you know, it was kind of tough like to kind of get back into it and like feel comfortable, and I haven't kind of got back to feeling comfortable on stage, and I think just those years of being alone and all that like kind of stripped something away, and but it was awesome. Like Secondhand Serenade is like the reason I started, you know, playing music pretty much. Like he was my favorite artist when I was a kid, and it was like amazing to get that opportunity. So very cool, like very amazing experience for sure. So.
And you got to celebrate your birthday whilst away as well.
Yeah, that was nice.
Cake for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really nice. Super nice, man. Yeah.
So with the live album, was the intention always to record one of these sets to put it out, or were you just whim of the moment?
It was just kind of in the moment. Like when I play live, I run everything through my computer anyway. Like I use plugins and stuff like live instead of, you know, pedals or whatever. So I had the option to just hit record, which is nice. So I was just like, hey, I'm gonna try it at one show, and it was cool. Like I don't know. So I recorded. Yeah, I just kind of tried to record at least like one song a show, because I wanted it to be all from different places. Yeah, so it was really just kind of a fun project that I finished like while I was on the road, and I think I took the picture in the van and got it uploaded while we were in the van. Like, yeah, it was really cool. Just kind of capture that.
I think it's such a clever idea to do a song in different cities rather than, because obviously a lot of bands or people in the entertainment industry pick one city. It's always like, for Britain, it's always London, Manchester. Do you know what I mean? It's never, and then when you've got like Atlanta, San Diego, California, like loads and loads, Kansas City, loads of fucking different places. So yeah, I think it's such a cool thing to do.
For sure, man. Yeah, I'll probably do another one too. Like it's really easy to do, so like why not, you know?
Are you touring this album?
Yeah, I should be announcing a tour soon for the summer. So yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Keep your eyes peeled, people.
Yeah.
Were those shows of Secondhand Serenade, were those your first shows you've done coming out of COVID as well?
Yep.
Yep,
Yep, they were.
That must have been quite nerve-wracking to get back up there then.
Yeah, it was a little bit for sure, man.
I
Completely lost my ability to socialize over that time, and I'm still trying to get it back, so it was a little tough, but everyone else kind of felt that way too a little bit, I think, so it was fine, except for John is the beast. I don't think he ever felt that way, so but it was cool though, sure.
He fucked off to the Philippines and Indonesia and shit, doing shows over there. That's insane.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's killing it, so it's awesome.
Well, thanks to him, that's how I discovered you. So, we wouldn't be sat here otherwise. I don't know why I'm going to tell this story, but I will. I think I've already told it, but there we go. Just chilling out, having a bath. Phone was on the old radio, second radio thing that Spotify did back in the day. And I heard this song, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. What's this? By the River by Say We Can Fly. I was like, holy shit. I'll listen to this album then. And was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, the entire way through. Just this is phenomenal.
That's a great image. I love
it. You're so welcome. And I hope everyone listening to that enjoys that as well. Sorry.
I'm sure they will.
By the time the album's finished, his bath's freezing cold, his skin's wrinkly. He's like, I'm not moving. I'm not moving.
That's funny, man.
I just want to say one thing before we move on, which is I just want to massively thank you for supporting our show, obviously, with the wonderful Stay Cozy clothing. So obviously, when we last spoke to you on your own, that this wasn't a thing. So just massive shout out. Thank you so much for supporting us and sponsoring us and just being an absolute goddamn legend.
Dude, thank you guys thanks for repping it all the time.
Always.
Awesome.
Always, man. Always. It's funny because I have work meetings every single day, so I make sure that I have Stay Cozy up here. Then I either wear a Stay Cozy hoodie or I wear our show hoodie. And everyone at work was like, "Stay cozy." Yeah, I'm like, "Always, mate, always." But the thing is, they may be taking the piss out of me, but it sticks in their mind. Oh yes!
Hey, I rep you guys too, man. I mean, I actually ordered a size too small, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So.
What's the future looking like for Stay Cozy clothing? What's next? What you can talk about anyway?
Yeah, we're moving to boots, like rubber boots. Holy. No, we're sorry, man.
I apologize.
Actually, kind of a good idea.
But it is in a way.
Festival season.
Yeah. True. We got I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to get we got a new line coming up very soon. I'm just waiting for the samples to arrive, and then coffee mugs as well dropping with the new line. So and then we're working on finding a US North American manufacturer to make our velvet hoodies as well, to bring those back, just so, because it's just important, I think, for me as well. I just want to try to just make sure it's ethical as well, as far as that whole process. So there are a lot of companies here in the US that do manufacture from the ground up, so we're talking to a few right now, but I really like to find a long-term partner that go to their warehouse, factory, or whatever, and just kind of be a part of the process. So yeah, working on that, but in the meantime, we got new stuff coming out hopefully next Friday. That's the goal. So yeah,
I think that's crossed, because obviously, just heading back to the album very, very quickly, you dropped your first ever LP.
Yeah, true.
Bright red LP, absolutely stunning. Come with a lyric book and everything, beautiful. How come you've only just dabbled in the vinyl world?
I don't know. I guess kind of I was just it's because it is it's really expensive to make them, so I just didn't know if it would be worth it. You know what I mean? If people would want to buy them. So I just kind of wanted to save it for this album, because new album makes more sense just to kind of do it. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something that I want to try to make more of. I'd like to eventually have a whole kind of storefront where I have all my records available on vinyl and CD and stuff. So
amazing. So you're gonna go back and get better to those out in between the rows and that sort of thing as well.
I can't sadly do Bluster those because I put that up through a label, so they. But yeah, most of the other ones I think I can do, as far as I remember. So. Oh wait, maybe I can do that one. Actually, I don't know. I gotta ask my manager. I don't know. But
do I own this? I'm not. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's complicated, man, because there's so many different types of like ownership, like royalties, and like I don't know. So yeah.
It's weird how the music industry works. Like you find bands put out compilation albums, and you're like, why isn't any of the songs from this album on it? Oh, because I don't own those songs. I wrote them, recorded them, and effing, but I don't own them. I can't do anything with them. It's so weird.
Sure. Yeah, it's pretty complicated.
But just we briefly mentioned you're saying about the next drop for Stay Cozy coming next week, hopefully. What sort of things can people expect from this new drop?
It's just more hoodies. I really just kind of wanted to like turn my focus toward like just kind of go with hoodies. And this is one of the new ones. Obviously, I wear them all the time, but yeah. So this is one of the new ones, and there's more like colorful designs. I just want to try some more like color stuff, because I haven't really done that. So yeah, so that'll be cool. I think there's like 7 or 8 new hoodies, and a bunch of coffee mugs. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna have like every Stay Cozy design available as a mug, I think is what I'm gonna do. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. So we do need to talk about a very special project you have coming up called Farlight. Alongside friend of the show, Baz Black. I'm starting to feel like we have a little TCO pod family going on now. Everyone seems to intertwine. But what can you tell us about Farlight?
So yeah, Farlight is I haven't rehearsed. I feel like I should have this rehearsed, but yeah, Farlight is a horror anthology series that I've kind of been working on. Like originally I had this idea for like a horror movie that was going to be all these like a couple short stories that take place kind of that are all connected. And I started working with one of my friends, Richie Gordon, just kind of reigniting the idea. And he actually named the show originally. It was called Fairlight, and he misspelled it on a document and called Farlight. So he kind of ignited this idea for like writing it into a series. So I started to work on these different episode concepts, and then I connected with Baz because of you guys, and we just really clicked and started to talk about it more. And yeah, so there's, I think it's probably going to be 7 or 8 episodes in the season. And we're going to be shooting the pilot at some point in this summer. So, so I've just been, working on trying to kind of get that all together. And I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of what comes of it.
So what made you want to move from a movie to a series then? Did you think the series would have fit it better than the short stories of a movie?
I think because kind of what it turned into is just like this. It started to become this kind of world that is just like I wouldn't want to limit it. Like obviously a series is way harder to like get made because it's just a different process than like a film. But I just feel like it's just kind of infinite possibilities that really works well with a series. Instead of trying to cram it all into like a film or something, which I mean could probably work as well. But I just want to try it. Me and Vaz kind of talked about it. We just might as well just try it. If it doesn't work, we can shoot like an indie film version of it or something. But yeah, just kind of feels like it makes the most sense. So
where did the idea even come from to write this horror anthology?
I'm a huge fan of horror movies, and there are just certain movies that really stuck with me. Like Hereditary is one I always go back to. It's like a really just disturbing film, and I was kind of been like fascinated about like what makes a film feel that way to me. And there's a lot of times in horror movies, I'm like, why don't they do this? Like, it's not even scary when you just do the jump scare all the time. Like, so I just was like, I just want to find a way to like kind of tap into that and explore that, like the fear, like it's just for me personally, like what really makes me afraid, and try to kind of figure it out and write that into stories. But I just love horror. I want to try to make it basically. At the end of the day,
could you do like an outtake episode where you try and work out why teenage girls always go in the basement on their own?
Yeah, I guess that is. Yeah, I guess that's happening.
It's like with horror films, I'm not gonna. If that was me in that situation, I'd be fucking gone. I would be like, oh, I'm all by myself in a massive fucking house. I better go and check the basement for no reason, where there's actually no means of escape other than the way I came in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's such a formula to everything, which I get, but I just want to kind of try to do it like the same way I'd approach like a song or something. Just kind of do like whatever feels right. Like, I don't know. So not try to stick to a formula, just kind of see how it. I mean, it could turn out complete trash, but I'm hoping it doesn't. And Baz is a genius, so I feel like it'll be pretty solid. So.
Oh, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm really excited for it. Like, I cannot wait to see it. But yeah, it's like horror. I personally not a fan, in my opinion, for horror things. It's just I just can't. I've enjoyed a few. Like, I enjoyed The Strangers. I thought that was a really good film. Obviously based on a true story. Do you think that horror has gone as far as the genre can go now? Because there are so many movies out there. I know, like, everyone loves like Barbarian. That's brand new. That's come out recently that everyone's going mental for at the moment. I'm pretty sure there's another one that I can't remember the name of. But I saw a trailer for a new, I think it's like an Evil Dead Awakens or something, where like the daughter's mum is a zombie, but she's not at the same time. It's really odd. I don't know if I find that. What I'm trying to say basically is, do you think that horror films and the horror genre are now clutching at straws because they've almost gone as far as it can go?
No, I definitely see your point. And I think in a lot of ways, yeah, it's like just like what more can you do? But I think that's why like these movies like Barbarian and like I think there's one called Skimming a Rink or something. It's like a weird, takes place in a house. It's like all these like weird kind of ones people are really gravitating toward because it's like different. And that's kind of with Farlight. I want to try to do something different, and just kind of because for me, horror has always been like, it's like between the lines, like the space, like the silence. That's what scares me in movies and stuff. So yeah, just kind of more focusing on that, I think is, yeah, you just got to be creative. Try to find your own voice with it. So, and I'm nervous. I've never done it, obviously, and I'm hoping I can, but I do have a vision for it, and I try to trust that when I'm making anything. So, yeah.
How much of it is written and ready to go?
Fully written, I think there's 3 episodes like fully written, and then I have like outlines for most of the other ones. So a good amount, and just kind of the overall story is at least in my head is kind of written. A lot of the visual stuff is kind of on paper now, and the theme song's written. So yeah, it's coming together for sure.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What was like, so obviously, sorry, just going back to, I do apologize, going back to the movies we're just talking about, like, were you inspired by movies like Barbarian, that sort of thing? Are they like the sort of psychological horror more than anything else?
Yeah, like Barbarian and like The Babadook is another one of my favorites. Hereditary, like I said, and I'm trying to think of other ones. But ones that I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know how I don't even know what it is, man. But it's just like this. I think honestly, what it is, like what scares me is like being close. And there's one called Relic as well, which is just really disturbing. I think the concept of like being close to death really freaks me out. Like when there's something like in your house or like you kind of just see it in the corner, but it's not like doing anything, just that unknown, like there's something following me. There's something here, like, and like noises, just really subtle noises that these things make or whatever. That just really, I don't know, it just really hits me. So it isn't weirdly inspiring. It's like, I would love to try to create that because I think I just see, as much value in like the dark stuff as I do as like the more lighter stuff. I don't know why. I just kind of see it that way. I think it's all worth being explored. So yeah.
No, absolutely. If it's anything like your music, like we're in for a hell of a ride.
Yeah, man. And I think part of what I struggle with a little bit is I know not everybody likes horror. I know some people just like to stay away from that. And so it's kind of hard for me to like just really want to put it out there, especially with my current audience, like to share it. Because I know it's, some people maybe make them upset or whatever, but I'm really trying to just like get past that and just like be proud of it and stick by it. And I know why I'm making it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I can imagine it might be weird for some of your fans. They know you as, this musician who wears his heart on his sleeve, to then playing this character for you put on Instagram, Ethan, like this whole other side of you. Have you had much feedback from what the stuff you've put out there?
Well, just a lot of people putting crying emojis and no, I mean, honestly, it's kind of mixed. Like it seems like in general, people are pretty excited, like stoked about it. There's obviously some people that are like, you know, maybe don't get it, but I'm trying to not care about that. Yeah. So, but it's hard too, because sometimes like with social media, it's like you'll post all these things about what you're doing, but somebody only sees one thing and it's completely out of context. And like, you know, so I just try to like not worry too much about the comments and whatever. But honestly, overall, it seems like people are pretty supportive and just like wanting to see it. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
To be fair, Dake and Tyke has this incredible audience behind it, so I see no reason that Farlight won't have as well. So
it does, man. Yeah, dude, it does, and I'm thankful for that. And sometimes I do have to tell people like, hey, like I'm not smoking weed. Like, don't worry, it's just tea. So I was like, oh, Braden's a stoner. Like, no, it's like, no, it's called cinema. You know, it's called cinema. All right, like, but yeah, so.
Oh, I love it. Dude, we mentioned Baz a couple of times there. Like, how did you end up working with him? I know we had a meeting all together, and then the next thing you know, you two are working together. What happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, Tom was always like, oh, I feel like you guys would connect. So yeah, we did that meeting, and after that, I just kind of hit him up on Instagram because I felt like we would connect too. Like, so I was just like, hey man, like I'd love to just hop on a call and talk sometime. And then I told him about Farlight, this idea. Sent him the script. He read it. He's like, dude, I love this. Like, so then we just got on a call. We started talking, and yeah, it just seemed like it's very aligned with kind of what he wants to do as well. So it just kind of just works. And I feel like me and him are pretty similar as far as like our views on like horror and stuff. And just from our conversation, I was like, yeah, he gets it. And I feel like I needed that a little bit. So yeah, so just kind of written in the stars, as they say, you know?
Yeah, but like-minded people with like-minded people, it just works.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, you get to know people and you're like, oh my God, you two would actually be fucking, okay, right, let's, oh, we're all going to have a meeting to talk about things, etc. When realistically it's like, Baz, Braden, Baz, enjoy yourselves. We'll sit here quietly and enjoy.
No, it's nice, man.
Spectacle.
Definitely appreciate it, yeah. Cool connection.
Hey, welcome, boys.
What I absolutely love about you, and we're having this conversation, is you are not afraid to follow your passions. Like, oh, I like horror film. I quite like to make a horror film. Fuck it, making a horror film. Like, I like music. I like this sort of music. Do you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna write it. You know, with Dake and Tyke, everything like that. You're not afraid to push yourself out of your comfort zone and just go, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. And I really admire that. And I want people who are listening to this to grasp onto that. And because if you want to do something, fucking do it. So nothing is stopping you, unless it hurts people. Don't do that. But you know, nothing is stopping you from trying. So everyone, go fucking do it. No.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and I think too, especially now, it's like there's no excuse. Like, I mean, YouTube is literally like free college, free. Like, you can learn pretty much anything on there. I would say, as far as creative realm, especially. So, yeah. And I mean, I definitely am afraid to do it a lot of the time. Like, I overthink, I get nervous, but I'm just like, life's short. Like, I just got to try it, you know? So, yeah.
I love it. I think it's amazing.
It is incredible. You look at your back catalogue, you know, you've got loads of albums out. You've written a fucking movie score that you released as a Christmas album. You've done a live album in loads of different cities. You've got your own YouTube channel. You have your own podcast. You have your own clothing line. You're now writing a TV series. It's like, is there anything you can't do? Like, do you have time to breathe or live or eat?
I do, yeah. I mean, honestly, man, it's hard sometimes because, like, I know a lot of, you know, successful people like that I watch or like look up to, say this is like when you spread your focus too thin, sometimes it's not a good thing. And I do struggle with that a little bit. It's just like there is just so many things I want to do, and it's hard to pull back and like focus on like, okay, I need, you know, but I'm trying to get more conscious of that now. And yeah, because it can be easy to just like do 10% of 300 things, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn that and work on that. But eventually the stuff that needs to get done usually gets done. So whatever.
This might be a really random ass question. Do you find it gets easier as you get older?
It does in some ways, yeah. I mean, and you know, less in some ways too. Like, I think when I first started with everything, I didn't overthink as much. I just like did stuff all the time. And I was a lot better at listening to kind of my gut and like my heart. And I feel like I've lost that a bit being older, but at the same time, it's just like, you just have a different perspective and you just put less pressure on everything. So in a lot of ways, it's gotten easier because of just like the stuff I've learned being a human, like living and whatever. Yeah, I think it's easier having more tools, being able to do more things. That does help a little bit. But then at the same time, it's like, the more you can do, it's like there's so many possibilities. So it's like just sit here for an hour, like, okay, what am I gonna do? Like, yeah, it's chill. It's chill. I enjoy it.
There's the old adage as well, the old expression, practice makes perfect. You keep doing these things, and over the years and years and years, it's like, okay, I'm doing this today. No problem.
For sure. Yeah, for sure, man. And in a way, it's like it loses its magic when you at that point, but at the same time, yeah. So it's just kind of what's like what's the thing people say? There's some like thing, like a compromise either way, but there's a cooler way of saying that. You know what I mean? I can't remember what it is though.
As soon as we get off this call, you're just gonna go, that was it.
What is it? Anyway, I'll try to think of it later. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Before we
catch 22, that's what it is.
Yeah, there you go. He got it.
Okay.
Before we start wrapping up, what is next for you? What have you got coming up that you can talk about? Don't do a Dake and Tyke album on me now and not bloody tell us. What have you got?
I mean, I have a bunch of songs coming out. This month I'm releasing a cover called Favorite Song by this guy named Tuesday. He's a rapper. So I'm putting that out. I got a song coming out on May 5th, May 15th, May 26th, and then August, I think, or wait, June, June, I think I'm putting out another Say We Can Fly song. A couple other EDM collabs over the summer, so lots of that. And yeah, just trying to get Farlight done this summer, announcing a tour at some point, and yeah, stay cozy. So same stuff, man. Just trying to make stuff, So
I love it. I admire. I love the fact that you just so focused on being creative and getting that stuff out there. I absolutely love it. I would give my left nut to be able to just give up my bloody job and just be creative full time. I really admire it. Fair play.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think sometimes if I had to start now, I don't know what I would do. Like, I'm very glad I started when I was like 14 or whatever. Like, because if I had to try to do that from scratch now, I don't know if I'd have the attention or like the motivation. So, yeah.
Incredible. Mr. Stevens, do you have any more questions for our wonderful guest?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, when if you just started out now, you don't know what you would have done with yourself. What if you started later than at 14? Like, do you find it absolutely mental that this is where you are now? You've got this TV series coming, you've got all these albums out. You've got your own clothing line, that sort of thing. Like, does it still blow your mind to this day?
I wish it did, man. But it's like you just get so numb to it, and it's just like it starts to feel so normal, where it's like, oh, that's not even like impressive or cool. It's just like that's not good enough, and it's just pressure I put on myself, and it's just you get what you want, and then the grass is always greener. You know what I mean? So I try to be like proud of myself and just have little moments where I'm like, I've done some cool stuff, but it's just it's not how my mind works. So I'm always like, all right, next thing, gotta be better, gotta do better, and so yeah. So it probably looks way different on the outside to like how it feels for me, but
it's like the best worst thing that's happened, like, because it's amazing that you've got all these these fingers and all these pies, but deep down you're like, fucking hell, I've got to look after that, I've got to look after that, I've got to sort that, I've got to write that, I've got to play that, I've got to go here and do this. So boys, you should be fucking well proud of yourself for everything that you've achieved at such a young age as well. It's absolutely incredible. And like Jamie said, I would give my testicles away to be able to do the exact same thing as well. To be able to be creative full time would be absolutely wonderful. Like it's an absolute dream. So you should be proud of yourself, man. You've accomplished so much already. I'm absolutely buzzing for Farlight. Like, I cannot wait. Like I said before, like, horror's not really my thing, but I can't wait to watch it. Like, I'm already buzzing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll send it to you as soon as we have an edit. So
can't wait. Yeah. Absolutely excellent. Braden, man, this has been absolutely amazing. Like, I absolutely love talking to you every single time. It's always a pleasure.
Likewise, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed this interview. It's really nice. Yeah.
Great fun. Do you have any plugs, social medias, people you want people to go and check out? Is this where he reels all the lists?
If you do go on Google, disconnect from the internet, and hit spacebar, you can play a dinosaur game. So go check that out.
You can
do that, but that's cool. No, but I mean, all my stuff is just say we can fly, basically. Bye, Tom.
You've offended him with your dinosaur games.
Like I'm gonna go play that. Dude, I was just saying, as soon as we mentioned the dinosaur game, you just left. So we were just like talking about you're just playing it.
Yeah, I mean that literally is how you could have done that.
Right, before you get out of here, any plug social medias you want people to go check out, my friend?
Just like everything is Say We Can Fly on the internet, and then Farlight. I think it's Farlight series on Instagram for our show. Stay Cozy Clothing. That's about it.
Don't forget, staycozyclothing.com. Enter that discount code, The Chronicles, to get yourself 10% off your order.
Yes.
Love it.
Mate, this has been absolutely incredible. I always enjoy, like I said before, talking to you. So thank you so much for coming on for another round, really. It's been fucking great.
Anytime. Always a pleasure.
Got to find a reason to get you on for number 5 now.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
Farlight, we'll get you and Baz on.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
thinking.
Dude, we will catch up a bit later on. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of day, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, man. Take it easy.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Braden.
No worries. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. What a great conversation. Like, he absolutely fucking broke me with that Dake and Tyke update at the start of that. Fucking broke me. What a man.
It's so fun. It's great. It's absolutely great. Always a pleasure, Braden. Thank you again, man. Like, we just love having you on this show. We love that you're a part of this show, obviously, sponsoring the show with Stay Cozy Clothing. Make sure you get on that website, staycozyclothing.com. It's just absolutely wonderful. And we just really hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it as much as we did recording it.